What's up, y'all? I know it has been a minute since y'all got seen me. This is gonna be my first time doing a review. I tried doing the Family Chandal, but then, as my schedule kept on messing it up, excuse me, I have allergies. And it was just not doing what I was supposed to do. Love the season. Hope they come back, but I couldn't really do it. But this time, with this marriage boot camp, which is why y'all are here, this is what I'm really going to be serious about. So, here we go. Not married, Lord, excuse me. Marriage boot camp, reality stars, season 19, episode 1. Welcome to boot camp. Like, y'all can be creative with TV. Lynn Toller ish. Y'all could be a little bit more creative with the title. But anyways, so they have to quarantine for 14 days, Sorry, I have my stuff here. They have to quarantine for 14 days. So everybody gotta be checked. Everybody gotta make sure they don't have COVID or whatever. All that good stuff. And the first, by yourself personal cam you see is Richard, no dollars, aka pesos. Shout out to Sin Santana. And Mariah Lynn. Mariah Lynn talking about, you might know me for my numbers, once upon a time. And then she said another song. I was like, girl, I don't know you from that other song. I like Once Upon a Time. And what was the other song that you did? Never, ever. That was tight. Girl, I love the other two songs. Whatever song you just mentioned, I forgot because I forgot to write it down. Girl, ain't nobody remember that but you. By the way, your confessional wig, girl. Certain colors work for you, that one did not. But the bustier was cute. Anyways, so with Mariah Lynn and Rich Dollars, they've been together on and off for about 10 years. For people who watch Love and Hip Hop, especially the New York season, Mariah put it out there that she was not pregnant, but she was very much in love with him. Spoke about his diabetes. He got offended. Naya, was coming for her talking about, you always talking about this man, but when you're in bed, that's when he's going to be all lovey-dovey with you. That's why he's going to keep on repeating the same cycle. So Mariah and Rich are trying to figure out, are they going to be together? Are they really going to be moving forward after 10 years? Or they're going to get their separate ways? Cam numero 2 from the quarantine. Lyrica Anderson and A1. So A1 is complaining that he's been in their hotel for 14 days straight just like everybody else. However, he didn't get none. And then you see a little clip of, Lyrica doing her Snap, IG, whatever she doing with her phone. So Lyrica says like, hey, you might know me as being a songwriter, yada yada yada. You know me for this song. I was like, honey girl, I only know you from Personal. Don't take it personal. That's all I know you from. And all the ratchet other stuff and that little red curly fro hawk that went down to your back. That's the only thing I remember of. That's all I remember. And then your mother always trying to find every opportunity to outshine you every time you're doing some type of concert or whatever. As for A1 to you might know me for being a songwriter, producer. I was like, boo boo, I only know you for pearls and nails. Then Hazel E talking about if you clutch them tight enough, you'll be part of the girls, whatever it was, kind of like from Mean Girls or whatever. Anyways, third person, Gangsta Boo and Emmett. Now, please, nobody get on me on the chest, but I actually do not know who Gangsta Boo is. I know who 3 Six Mafia is, but I don't know who she is. You know how a lot of hip hop groups will have a lady like what's a good? I'm sorry, my mind went blank. You have the Brat for So Def. Rough Riders. You had Eve. I forgot what group that brought Ashanti in. I think it's still the same Rough Riders. Just to name a few. Girl, I've seen 3 6 Mafia over and over again. I ain't seen you do. Even Trick Daddy claimed Trina when he was doing his thing. Girl, I don't know you. I mean, I'm sorry for people who actually know her, but I honestly do not know her. So, they've been together as boyfriend and girlfriend for 7 years. Oh, did I mention about Lyrica and anyone? Oh, yeah, they were married for 5 years. Anyway, back to Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo and her, White Chocolate, had been together for 7 years. One minute he saw her touring, next minute they went to Washington State, Canada, I don't know, somewhere up north. And they became boyfriend and girlfriend, became inseparable. And finally, to grace our TVs yet again, after having doing a whole documentary of My Killer Body, is Miss Kimberly Michelle herself and her man. And she said, y'all know me from this. I'm the first black woman for Jack Daniel. And this is my partner. He's a dentist. And he's just looking at her like, for real? That's all you got to say about me? I was like, what else do you do? And then she continues on like, listen, I've been in the music industry for so long. I wanted somebody who knows me, someone who I knew for a long time, which he did, that is not in the music industry. She wanted somebody who's complete opposite. And then she continues to say her body is old, but her titties and her hot pocket are new. So he looked at her like, really? You did a whole entire documentary of My Killer Body, but still went ahead and got some new coochie and new titties? You know, as a dentist, I should rearrange your teeth, Just kidding. Anyways, so, the couples are mingling outside in the backyard or whatever. And A1 starts complaining about why he hasn't been getting none. And then he goes on to explain that the reason why they're here today, which was technically yesterday, or whatever was filmed, because I knew it was filmed. I know the show aired yesterday. Sorry, I'm late. Excuse me. He complains that he hasn't been getting any, even with this quarantine thing, he hasn't been getting any because he keeps on slipping up and slipping up and slipping up. And I'm just like, you're upset because she's saying when you get there, that's supposed to be yours, but she's not giving it up. I was like, that's because you keep on giving it up to other women. So she's supposed to stay there and open up her legs because that's yours, but your one is for the streets so they can enjoy that egg. Boy, you and your nails, goodbye. I'm glad you said goodbye to them dreads, but why did you do that to your hair? Anyways, Dr. Ish is in the intercom. Attention all couples, please report to the courtroom, or something like that. Please report. They all come in and it's a big old courtroom, and here go K. Michelle's boyfriend talking about, do all $1 million mansions have a courtroom? No, they do not. Do what you play. Anyways, so they enter in, they're all nervous. Dr. Ish says, listen, all the women to my left, all the men to my right. He proceeds, I'm watching my notes. He proceeds to ask, so, is anybody in here ready to fix their relationship? This is Lyrica. Lyrica, is something wrong with your hand, boo? Ooh, something wrong with Lyrica's hand. I think it's too heavy with all them rocks and stones on her nails. Like, her hand did not lift an A1 with his one hand. Like, I know this girl did not just keep her hand down. Anyways, Next in, everybody takes their seat, and Judge Lynn Turrell enters into the building as she sits in her rightful court throne. And the first person who she calls out, well, the first couple, excuse me, she calls out, where am I? She calls out GB and Emmett. I'm not going to keep on saying her name over and over again. So, GB wants Emmett to put some respect on her name, meaning hear her voice as a black woman. Wow. Emmett wants GB to stop controlling him. And they're speaking about it, and you cannot say, put some respect on my name, but then be a control freak, sis. Like, it's okay if you're a one-woman show, but if this man has been in your life for 7 years, and all y'all do is all this miscommunication, you feel like he don't hear you as a black woman, but you're emasculating him, you really think he gonna really put a ring on your finger to somebody who don't allow him to get a word in and the communication sucks? Girl, you lucky he even stayed for that long. Anyways, they go sit down. Next couple to come up is, where am I? K. Michelle and her dentist. So K. Michelle is talking about, I have everything planned for us. We're going to do this. We're going to have twins. We're going to make sure they're girls because I already have a boy. I don't want another twin boys. Blah, 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 blah. I have everything set. So Judge, she was like, oh, so you have everything all thought out and planned. Yes, I do, Your Honor. Yes, I do. Goes to the dentist. So how do you feel about Kay's plan for the both of you? Casting goes, okay, I mean, she told me that already. I'm just a regular schmegular dentist, just trying to have a regular schmegular relationship and just simply go with the flow. And Kay's just like, really? Really, you have no thoughts. Casting is a little bit lost. If it ain't about premolars, the canines, he don't know what you're talking about. Next, after they sat down, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I'm not. So, next to come in is Lyrica and Not So Anyone. So, we already know the story for people who watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and also watched Zeus's conversations with them too about the infidelity, about the baby almost not being A1s but end up being A1s. You know, she's calling herself Anderson instead of Bentley. Ooh, almost got her maiden name wrong. And then here come A1 bringing up. I was like, okay, I know I have stepped out a lot of times, but she stepped out too. And she's trying to justify, I was like, excuse me, I didn't step out. Every time that we separated, I literally moved out and started speaking to somebody else because I thought it was actually over. Baby, let me tell you something. Unless the papers are signed, you are legally still cheating. Be grateful in them 5 years. Ocean is the only baby that he has, and that is by you, allegedly. Okay? Be glad. And then, during the confessionals, after watching the video, they asked Lyrica, do you still want to be with A1? She said, yes, I can try. I can forgive him. Do you really want to be in this relationship anymore? And she was like, I don't even know. I was like, wow. It's amazing what stuff could happen within 5 years. So, they having their little conversation with the judge. Here goes GB in the back. Hold on, where my glasses at? This is GB in the black, act like she listening. So the judge calls her out, and so does Dr. Ish. And she's like, what happened? Dr. Ish wanted her to repeat what Judge Lynn just asked. And she said, you know what, I'm not even going to lie under oath. I wasn't listening. There's no excuse. I apologize. She said, we're going to keep our glasses off. That's what Dr. Ish said. We're going to keep our glasses off and we're going to pay attention. Because even though you are no longer on the stand, our messages are for everybody. It ain't directly to you, but you can still take that advice even though we're not really talking to you, which is so true. I'm like, girl, not you sleeping. Girl, if you're going to put your glasses on and go to sleep, you got to make sure you're not a snorer first. You forgot that your mic was on? Even if your mic wasn't on, girl, you in heavy sleep. Anyways, I'm digressing. So, they go ahead and sit down. And finally, we get Rich and once upon a time, not long ago, I was a psych. They're on the stand. So after 10 years, they're still trying to figure out what they're doing with themselves. Rich calls Mariah damage. Emotional damage! Like, you gonna call a girl who you were on and off with 10 years damage? Like, after the first 2 years, you didn't know? After the first year, after the first month, you didn't know? And how dare you call this woman damage when after you stop dealing with Olivia, we have seen your track record. From Erica, with her too, and other women. You haven't been a saint yourself. You've been a hot mess. The only reason why you slowed down is because your diabetes told your behind to calm your ass down before your pancreas goes a-missing. And so is the rest of your life. That's why you slow down. If it wasn't for the diabetes, that could trigger your pancreas, that could trigger your penis, you would still be the captain of the creep squad as we speak today. And you know that. Shut up, Richard. So, Mariah's in her feelings, talking about, I don't like the fact that he always doesn't claim me. And the only time he even put a picture up, it was just some recent, like, let's put some sunlight on or whatever the case was. And I'm like, Mariah, girl, you are raising your sister because you know your mama a hot mess. Because, again, for people who watch Love and Hip Hop New York, they know about Mariah, they know about Richard. Mariah, you got your own stuff going on, and you over here worried about a man who doesn't claim you, knowing that you can always get any man you want because you're not an ugly girl. And the fact is that you have got other men throughout your on and off 10-year relationship. Why are you entertaining a guy who don't even claim you? At least the other guys that were around you were claiming you publicly. Every time he got into the scene with Rich, it's always been on some hush-hush. Or some slick da-da-da-da stuff. It's never y'all being all bun up. Never y'all kissing. None of that. Even with that picture that he put up, yeah, y'all were posing, but anybody can pose with somebody. It could be absolutely nothing. Girl, why are you in marriage boot camp with a man who don't even claim you? I wouldn't even entertain it. I was like, you know what? I'm cute. I'm leaving. I'm going to take my Caucasian jersey behind, go back to Raw. Actually, she could pay me some more funds so I can make this money as a hip-hop artist. So once upon a time, not long ago, I dropped this. Okay, anyways. Now that all the sessions are over, then the judge leaves, and the first tasks are given to him. And it's about 4 keys that describes each couple's relationship. Now, I'm not going to say what the keys are because the keys match the room. So, let's get to it. So, Gangsta Boo and Emmett got the combat room. So, I'm assuming that's what their key says. And the room is definitely ready for some combat. Like, you see boxing gloves. You see them cursing at each other. You even see, you know, that little bell when you go ding, ding. They even had that. And they were saying, yo, why they do this to us? Why you do this to us? Come on, didn't everybody and their mama agree that y'all were the combat couple? So why are you complaining that your room is giving combat? You give what you gave. So now you're gonna sleep in your truth. Y'all like to combat. You want to bombard? That's what y'all like to do. Especially you, gangster boo. Next. Excuse me. Next. Next is Rich and Mariah Lynn's room. They got the player room. I was like, which one is the player? I guess it's both of them because Mariah, girl, you be playing too, girl. You play with Cisco. You play with Safari. Girl, you be playing too, girl. And I mean, Rich is notorious for it, but you be playing too, girl. You be playing too, girl. Anyways, ironically, they have the smallest room in the house. Now, this could have been fitting it was just Mariah by herself. But Rich tall as a mug compared to Mariah. Like, what are you, like 6'2" or something? Drop on the comments and tell me how tall Rich is compared to Mariah. Because I believe Mariah's from my height, around 5'1", 5'2", around that range. This is what she's looking like. And not only it's small, you know, there's even more pictures of, you know, the couple being up there saying whatever they say. What did I mention? What they said about each other? Yeah, Mariah says on the wall, "You're gonna die alone," and there's just lingerie dripped all over the curtains. So Rich is like, "Okay, there's lingerie dripped all over the curtains. What's that supposed to mean?" And then she just whispered, "Well, once upon a time not long ago." I'm like, really? Really? See, I wasn't even thinking that. I'm thinking this is all the draws that he smashed while he was not dating you and claiming other bitches. But whatever. Excuse my language. Up next, we're going to be going to K. Michelle and her dentist fairy tale failure rooms. And she's like, failure? Oh no, this relationship ain't gonna fail. I'm like, girl, I forgot how long y'all were dating. 5, 6, 7 years around there. I mean, y'all make a beautiful couple, but it's really one-sided. So they get in there, and the room is actually pretty decent. A little dark. I don't know what they got with this white wall, black drapery, bedding, stuff like that. But I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. And you see the princess design, embroidery, and then you see 2 crowns. Excuse me. These allergies. And she sees a crown on her side. She gets excited, like, ooh, a crown, a crown, a crown. She gets ready to put it on her head, only to realize it's broken in half. And she said, why would they give me a broken tiara? And then she looks on her man's side, and she said, you got a crown too. And he didn't even look that deep, and he can tell that it was broken as well. She said, why would your crown be broken? I treat you like a king. That dentist gave her one of them looks. You treat me like a king? You treat me like a king? Girl, don't let him extract one of your teeth with all them lies. Anyways, and then you see their pictures on the wall with K. Michelle says, yo, bitch. And him saying, what'd he say? You talk for a living. And she's like, okay, so I talk shit for a living, and you clean teeth for a living. The point is we're getting our money. I'm like, girl, that is not the point. When we get dental work, it's an investment. Anybody can talk shit for free. Okay? with that being said, other than that, the room was decent. We finally get to Lyrica and A1's room. They got the VIP room. Vain, immature, petty room. I would have said something else, but okay. So the room started off beautiful. No, it was actually nicer than, the fairy tale family room because it's all bright. You see more brown than this black gray thing that you keep on seeing with everybody else. Until, ooh, honey, until you see the picture with Lyrica saying, I hope you die. And then with the only one saying, no, with anyone saying, only one person can wear the pants in this house, and that's me. And I'm just looking at that, and I'm like, bro, you sound like your mama. That sound like some ish that your mama would say when your brother and them used to live in her house, and she would always be flipping the script. She said, only one person will live, and that will be me. I'm like, boy, can you and your clutch pros go somewhere with your nails? Anyways. And let's not forget the mirrors being shattered as decorations. And it showed like you can't even see where you're going after 5 years because y'all so busy hurting each other in different ways. So they pan over back to K. Michelle and her boyfriend's room, and they're talking about babies. While he's talking about, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even know what I want. Dr. Ish comes in the room. K. Michelle basically says the same thing, and then the doctor looks at him. He says, do you want babies? He's like, you know what? I am getting older, but nah. I don't think I'm ready for, like, marriage and kids yet, especially twins. I was like, she starts crying and stuff, and I'm just looking at K. Michelle, and I'm just thinking, girl, aren't you the one who said, you can't raise no man, he's already grown, what you gonna do? You already know he acts like a boy, 'cause he wasn't raised right before you. You dismiss all these hip-hop, R&B producing whack dudes that you're used to seeing. Athletes too, because some of them fit in that category as well. Got you somebody that you knew from back then that has a decent job that helps with his 401k. He probably makes less than you as a music artist. But even he's telling you, nah, I ain't sure. I don't know if I want kids. Meantime, the dentist don't even have kids. So he ain't got to worry about baby cavities. Yes, I said cavities. So she's just looking and crying. He's consoling her, which I do appreciate. But I was like, girl, you have a grown boy consoling you, letting you know that he is not ready to be a family man. I think he just want to keep on practicing in this dental and maybe another 5 years. When your hot pocket cannot produce any more eggs, and maybe when your boobs drop a little bit, and then you need to make another documentary of My Killer Body, your hot pocket and your titties start to fall to the floor. Maybe then he'll probably marry you and then adopt a dog or something. Until then, girl, your little planned fairy world, it ain't fairy. Get back to A1 at Lyrica's room. So Dr. Ish meets them in there and they start talking about their issues. So the issues is the infidelity. So Lyrica is basically saying this man does not know how to own up to his ish. And then A1 says this girl, every time when there's an issue, she would leave, get another apartment, and she would be with another dude. But she keeps on saying she's not cheating. And she's basically said, like, how is it cheating if I leave? I didn't even think we were going to come back. I was like, because, girl, you're still legally bound. When he stepped out, he was still legally bound to you. When you left and didn't sign no papers yet, you were still legally bound. Okay, you probably wasn't as reckless as he was, because the last time he cheated was 4 months ago. But honey, it don't matter how you describe it, cheating is cheating. K Michelle said, rightfully so. I was like, girl, 2 wrongs don't make a right. It just means you're going to catch an STD or an unplanned baby. That's all it means as a woman. And then A1 gets around to my, nah, she ain't listening to me. She only going to justify what I did. I was like, well, A1, the difference between your wife and you is you were publicly caught. And you were very sloppy with it. I'm surprised there's no alleged baby out there with a baby mama claiming you, dude. You had Summer Bunny talking about, why is it always me? Why is married men coming over me? Wow, this bitch Hill Apple Watch scalping her wig, ready to beat her up for your wife that you love, you want to fix a family with, but then you keep on sleeping with the next ones. Publicly. Not even trying to hide it. What she did is not in the tabloids, boo. It's your stuff that's in the tabloids. Like I said, cheating is cheating both ways. But it's even more embarrassing when public people who know you and your wife, knowing your ish, and I'm sure your one is really not that great, but because you're A1 from Love Hip Hop Hollywood, you did this, that, and the third that I never heard of, and you sleep with them because you're missing affection from your wife. What woman is going to show any man any type of affection, anything like that, what we're naturally born with, to a man who constantly keep hurting us, giving what belongs to me to different women? I'm not going to be submissive to that. I'm not going to have great communication with that. I'm not going to literally put my body and soul to somebody who I eloped with, in spite of what our moms were saying, because they kept on fighting each other. Only for him 5 years later to have multiple women up to 4 months before we get into the boot camp. And now you want to leave because she's not owning up to hers. Yes, what she's saying is BS, but at the end of the day, yours is public. She's wrong and you're wrong. That's the part that you need to understand. If you didn't bring up that she still stepped out and saw another dude in the apartment that she lives with, nobody would know because her stuff was not in the tabloids like yours. But if you're going to leave, okay, bye. So this is the end of this review and my personal thoughts, my personal opinions. I looked at the trailer of how it's going to be. People popping off. People getting ready to hit people with an iron. People might get kicked out because of drug use. Knock on wood, would not be surprised as Gangsta Boo. I thought it could have been A1 at Lyrica, but you could see they made it to the end from the clips that I saw. I'm having a feeling it's Gangsta Boo and Emmett. They look the type that even though they're looking for help, they're going to sneak in some drugs. They look like it. I'm sorry. If it's not, I'm sure when that episode airs, they'll be proven wrong. I know it ain't Kimberly and her dentist. We gonna clean teeth and run it with drugs on TV? That would have been a show. But anyway, like, subscribe. I'm going to continue to do this. I'm also thinking for people who follow me on my other videos, I'm going to start going back to doing try-ons. And as y'all can see right now, I lost my light ring. And I'm so mad because I'm like, I had it here. And now it bippity boppity boot on out of here. But it saves me more energy. But you see this light with those Pepto-Bismol colors? That is my wall that I had since I was like 18 years old. And I'm 31, getting ready to turn 32. But yeah. Happy April Fool's Day. Don't be a fool, baby. Don't be a fool. And I'll catch you on the flip side. I forgot to do my exit intro, so stay tight and follow these.
So as I was saying, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, share, comment, and please subscribe. Also follow me on what you see probably around here with my other social medias. I know I'm late to say welcome to 2020 April. It's April 1st, but still follow me in my platforms. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Probably get back to me that my tax return hit, because you know your girl is working again. She ain't got to worry about scam mails.